Hi!
It's pod time.
It is indeed. Welcome back to the official Doctor Who podcast. I'm Nadia Jae.
And I'm Shabaz, and this is a place for all your Whovian needs. Spoiler alert, now we're going to be breaking down everything in the episode. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it on BBC iPlayer in the UK or on Disney Plus where available, and then come back to us.
And in this episode, we're going to dissect the first in a two-part finale, The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I cannot wait. Right, Shabaz, we need some guests. They're going to materialise in like the TARDIS. Ooh, yeah.
A big round of applause to presenter and content creator Sarel and film and TV fan Thomas Duke. Thanks for joining us.
I am so excited.
So fun to be here.
So excited.
All right, so I'm going to ask you both, what is your earliest Doctor Who memory?
I think my earliest and I guess most emotional one is the beach scene in Doomsday with, Rose and the 10th Doctor. That still haunts me, honestly.
Heartbreaking.
And I remember watching it, I think. I recorded it and kept watching it again and again. Very
That's
vividly.
a good one. What about you, my love?
I don't know if it's necessarily my earliest, but it's the one that's like singed in my brain.
Okay.
And it has to be the Angels.
Oh, we've been angels.
I'm sorry.
Thing.
I was traumatized for a good couple of years. I had to take moments to pause. It was me and my brother, I remember, when there were like 4 years between us, and we'd watch it under the covers and then like come back up. And because you don't want to miss anything, but at the same time, scary. But I think that one for me like holds like a special place in my heart because I was just like, damn, this is epic.
So I'd like to ask you both, like, what were your initial thoughts when watching The Legend of Ruby Sunday?
It was intense. It was kind of like one of those where every couple of minutes is a sharp left turn. Like it was just like, what's going on? Oh, this is going on now. What's going on? Mm-hmm. I was just constantly being like taken on a new journey. I don't know if you felt the same.
Yeah, no, definitely. I wasn't expecting a lot that happened, so that was fun. And I think it was the most cinematically, visually spectacular episode, I think, from a cinematic perspective. I loved seeing the different ways things were portrayed to us.
We've got all that and more, right? First things first, we've now solved the mystery of Susan Twist, or
Finally.
Susan Triad.
Yes.
Now, we know who she is.
Yes.
Or do we?
Or do we?
There's always a twist at the end.
There's always a twist at the end. Oh.
We've returned to Ruby Road since Christmas for the first time. We've sort of come back to it to see what's going on there. We've got the small matter of Sutekh returning.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I'm so excited. I'm gonna just jump out my feet. I was honest. The minute that happened, no, don't do it.
Just letting you know what we're doing here.
Unit's back, and also we've got Mel, Bonnie Langford. Mel's gonna be here with us, and we're gonna have a chat to her as well.
All right, guys, this episode is literally like being on a train and it's driving at 100 miles per hour and no one can get off. So I think we should start with Susan. She's literally been on our tongues from the beginning of this whole season.
Kept me up all night.
Oh, I'm telling you. Or Susan Triad now, as we know her. Let's remind ourselves.
Susan Triad, IT genius. And today she's releasing her software worldwide free of charge, a gift from Triad Technology.
Oh man, do you see? It's an anagram. Triad spells out TARDIS. The name is TARDIS Technology.
Well, obviously, thank you.
Even I got that.
I love that.
I love it.
Even I got that.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a nod to the fans because I think anytime someone saw that Triad, they were like, Triad. TARDIS. Never seen a TARDIS before. It's really funny because she's a bit like, anytime a big baddie gives away anything for free, sorry, I'm not buying it.
Can't give into it. You can't buy it. Free technology in this economy. No, I'm not believing it. No.
What do you make of Susan? Did you think that this was going to be the twist? What do you think?
No, not really. I mean, obviously there's always a twist at the end, which was a fun callback. But no, I wasn't expecting that. Obviously there was something coming. And it was very exciting to see finally getting a few more breadcrumbs of that. And so, I'm just excited to see what happens even after this as well. But yeah, no, it's quite a surprise.
I wasn't convinced in the slightest. When I saw TARDIS and then obviously Unit knew, I was like, yeah, this means nothing.
Yeah.
This is literally just them being like, tick, this is what these lot said, tick, listen, get it out in the first 10 minutes of the episode so we can get to the real nitty gritty, which we obviously did in the end. But like I already said to Shabaz the last episode, we were fighting about it. I was like, I'm concerned about the fact that the Doctor didn't know who Susan was.
Where have they been? Because this is 6 months.
Where have they been?
Like they've been gone for 6 months. Well, because what they say in that episode is that when they're talking about Susan, they're saying that she started this technology 3 years ago, but within the last 3 months, she's renamed it
S-TARDIS.
S-TARDIS technology.
So the reason why I feel like they're just like, this isn't, the Doctor doesn't know what's going on and there's time that's gone is because there was a couple of other characters that Susan had played that we hadn't even seen.
But that stressed me out because I need to see them. I'm sorry, I'm watching Doctor Who. I need to see every single monster, every single bad guy.
When the Doctor's going through all Susan, you know the first four, and then after the painting in Rogue, I was like, who's the alien?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what's going on?
So they've been on other adventures
that we haven't seen.
that where Susan has appeared again.
Yeah.
But why have we not been seeing that?
I guess it's broadening the possibilities, I guess, which is exciting. I guess we haven't seen everything, so there's more that meets the eye, I suppose.
Do you think, and this is a question for you, do you think the next series we're going back to that 6 months? Because Nadia has a theory. She believes that we've not watched the episode. We think the episodes are day 1, day 2, day 3 on TARDIS, but it's not.
I think I agree with that because there is a bit of disconnect with the episodes. Like to the naked eye, it feels like it's in chronological order. But if you actually like look even at just like character journeys and like the emotional thread of it, it's kind of like, I feel like something's happened that I haven't been privy to.
That's it.
You know, like when you kind of like have a moment where you've blinked for too long or like, do you know what I mean?
Don't
or
blink.
Don't blink.
but yeah, I think I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
We should talk about Mel. She's undercover. I was a bit worried that Susan was going to like clock onto her.
Oh.
Did you get the same vibe?
I felt like there was something really uneasy about their relationship from the jump. And also that little tidbit of like, oh, and Susan's actually really nice. I was like, why did you say that? Why would you say, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think they were like luring into like a false sense of security a little bit because obviously we then find out who's like the whole Susan pudding.
But do you feel, Tom and like Sarel, do you, and I guess Nadia, do you not feel that Susan Triad, the woman, is a baddie? Like, do you think she's the villain?
No, I think she's more the vessel.
Oh yeah,
That makes sense.
love
The
that.
vessel. The vehicle, I feel, of Sutekh and stuff. I think...
You said it.
Sorry. But yeah, no, I also loved how when the Doctor first meets Susan finally and is kind of trying to get the breadcrumbs out of her to see if he's right, type of thing, if they're right about it. So that was a fun interaction where it's like, have you had dreams? I love that interaction.
But she's really lovely then as well. Like, and like you said about her and relationship with Mel, they just sort of have this really cute, like, oh, have a cup of tea. Oh, yeah, have a cup of tea.
But I
like,
felt uneasy though, like what Sarel's saying.
Did you?
Just a little bit because I feel like there was, do you know, I think it was an attempt to humanize Susan.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you know, her mum and dad do regular jobs and she was talking about her postman and a dinner lady. And then, you know, like it was almost like we're getting to know her a little bit quickly so that the Doctor could, like you said, Tom, get to her and be like, are you having dreams? Like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? And did either of you believe that Susan could have been the Doctor's granddaughter in that moment?
I was excited for that possibility, but it didn't seem to go that way. I mean, we still have one more episode, but I was believing that. So, I mean, I don't know really now, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to believe it. I don't know if I fully did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this will be a nice moment. But as the episode went on, I was like, nah, Susan, I don't trust ya. Nah.
But what if?
Here we go.
What if?
I love your what ifs.
This is what my brain does all night. What if it is his granddaughter? She just had memory wipe, which is why she's having these dreams, these bad dreams. What if it is like Susan Triad is his granddaughter? She just doesn't know she is right now because Sutekh has been manipulating her so much. They have wiped. You know what I mean? Like, what if we do still get that reveal?
I also think it'll be quite quite mind-blowing if she is the granddaughter as well, because imagine Sutekh having control over technically a Time Lord because she's the Doctor's granddaughter. So you've got kind of like two powerful, do you know what I mean?
Entities there.
Entities, and he's controlling. So maybe that's the only way he anyways, now you've infected me with your what ifs. But yeah, I think that.
Do you think, because he said he wasn't going to go back, he said, I can't go back to Susan because he brings disaster. So he didn't want to go back to his granddaughter because he brings destruction everywhere and disaster everywhere. Right, I'm getting emotional.
However, retribution, do you know what I mean? You can't just be leaving granddaughters in these streets.
Also,
Like,
he takes... Listen,
come on,
absolutely.
do you know what I mean?
He takes companions everywhere. He doesn't have a problem with destroying them, but
his granddaughter, he's like,
absolutely
nah, hands off.
Yeah.
It's just, to be fair, he tries to help. We'll move on to the fact that Ruby, so, obviously they're trying to find Susan Twist, but Ruby is a huge part of this episode and trying to find who her mother is. The emotions, honestly. All right, let's talk about the fact that in Unit's weird time window that basically looks like a big IMAX cinema screen, and that technology was crazy. I was almost jealous of Ruby's mum because she just got to attend like it was just a regular day at the museum or something. Like,
oh,
hey, why don't you
yeah.
just come
I want
along
mummy to
and
come
see-
along.
Yeah.
What was really interesting is that the Colonel, Kate, was like, absolutely not. The Colonel's not to move. And Dr. Who was like, just let him go around the back of the TARDIS. Why
Yeah.
not?
It's like, that's an order. Well, the doctor said, go.
Yeah.
Go and have a look. And then
Oh,
he
hell
didn't come
breaks
back.
loose.
It got weird.
Yeah.
So,
One thing that we're going to talk about is the voice, right? Let's just remind ourselves of that first sound.
ooh.
I am lost.
Okay, but we can find you. We can help. Just look around and tell us, where are you?
I am in hell.
Colonel, I need to know. Can you tell us what's happening?
It's seen me. It's seen right into my soul. And it's so old.
What is it?
Waiting.
What is?
It's been waiting for so long.
What did you make of the voice when you first heard it?
Creepy. I'm not going to lie. Also, when it first came out, I was like, okay, cool. And then he was like, I'm in hell. And I was like, what?
How did we get here?
When did you, what? How? So that took the whole episode to me. That was like a sharp left turn. Because I was just like, yeah, this is cool. We're looking for Ruby's mom. Like, okay, cute, fun. Like, is that her? Isn't her? It's her. No, maybe not. I don't know.
Hold
and then
on,
all of a
hold
sudden,
on.
I'm in hell. And I was like, okay, well, sure. That's cool, So that was creepy for me. But yeah, the whole voice thing just...
It made,
What about you, Tom?
it made you visualize a lot of things after saying like hell, basically. It reminded me of the Vashta Narada, in the kind of Silence in the Library episodes.
Did not come here.
Well, of course you did. Of course you came here.
We come from here.
It kind of reminded me a bit of like that haunting sense of what's going on and what's going to happen next type of thing.
That sound sounded really familiar. So I was like, what is it? I couldn't clock it though. But you're right when saying, we're just having fun. We're just finding Ruby's mum. And all of a sudden...
We're playing around in the machine, do you know what I mean? And all of a sudden... Also for me, I think that was the first moment where it was like, okay, cinematically, this has changed now. Like the vibe of we're in a new
There's nobody
space.
waving like smoke around it.
Exactly. This is like, it's intense. Like, put your seatbelts on, we're going on a ride now. So I think for me as well, just visually, I was like, okay, I'm there with you. You guys have taken me and we're on this journey.
I was just creeped out that it was happening around the TARDIS.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
why and what?
Yeah.
Like what and why? Literally.
Yeah.
Because also, I think something else that we haven't touched on yet is the fact that this is happening in a supposed memory. And this isn't what we remembered, is it, Doctor? Like everything was changing whilst the Doctor was trying to remember this moment, and even he was questioning it. And that, I was unsettled. The moment I saw Bonnie Langford shudder, like she was shuddering, I was like, right, Mel's gone, that's it. Like we're on the ropes now.
Because the doctor said when he comes on, he goes, oh yeah, that's where I appear. Like, how do you not remember your own memories? Like, how am
Because
I
it was
supposed to remember?
changing.
Yes, this is it.
But that's the very essence of what I love, I guess, about this show. It's kind of, as said before, timey-wimey, and kind of like things do change and things can present in different ways, and that's what's quite fun and interesting, I guess. So yeah, that's exactly what happened here, and I love the kind of memory aspect. very different kind of vibe and changing the past like that. I loved it.
Right, okay, listen, before we do anything,
here we go.
I can feel it. It's happening.
What?
Sutekh.
Okay, let's just go straight there. Yeah.
Mate.
Just go on.
Did you know?
No. Did I? No,
Tom?
absolutely not.
No.
Sarel?
Don't bother asking me. Absolutely not. That threw me for a loop, yeah.
Sutekh, big baddie. This is the big one. But is it?
Don't do that.
Do we think Sutekh is the semi-baddie, part 2 baddie, one of 3 baddies, Triad?
Oh, gosh, stop it.
But Sutekh is so, like, Doctor Who, because I actually watched back the original episode, so I don't get the vibe that Sutekh is working with anyone else. So if there's another baddie, it's because they've come for whatever retribution that they've come for.
Yeah, but Sutekh has brought them along. He's still doing his business because he's like, I'm baddie, you are baddie too.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
he got captured and obviously has been re-released. How though?
Well, we might come to that.
Yeah,
But so what do we think? First things first, the big question is, are there more villains coming? Season finale.
We've only got 1 episode left.
Yeah, but
I think there could be. I feel like maybe a door's been opened and there might be a situation where there's more than one battle happening right now. I think so. Because when the doors open, they all come running out. So I feel like maybe the Doctor and the team are going to have to deal with more than one.
Like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like Sutekh, I don't know, if I look at the way the episode is played out, he's kind of keeping his cards close to his chest.
Yeah.
You're not kind of seeing everything. So I think he's going to be just like dropping little mini like explosions of just like absolute havoc.
Speaking of like his legions are coming, we also got another Mrs. Flood moment. Let's just remind ourselves of that.
I would love a cup of tea.
Would you, sweetheart? Well, we'd all like a lot of things that aren't going to happen.
What that's supposed to mean?
I'd be very careful, Mrs. Sunday. There's a storm coming in. He waits no more.
He waits no more.
Good.
What do we make of Mrs. Flood? I just want to hear your theory. So what do you think, Sarel?
I do think she's being used by Sutekh to do... So, again, Ruby is a very big key here, which is why she's been placed in the Ruby household with mum and grandma. I think there could be a thing where it's like, grandma's in danger, and then Ruby and the Doctor run back and it's a trap. Perhaps.
It's a trap. I love that. Yeah.
I got very excited there.
No.
But yeah, no, I think she is unfortunately being used by one of the
Is she being used or is she...
You think she is?
Or she could be something more.
Same.
Maybe.
What do you think?
I mean, in the Christmas special where we first see her, and she broke the fourth wall there, didn't she?
She did.
And that was like, but she didn't seem evil.
So bear in mind, it was after the Doctor went back. So first things first, she was kind of like, had no clue. The Doctor went back, changed stuff to save Ruby, and then Mrs. Flood broke the fourth wall. So has he changed something that has allowed something? Like, do you know how we were talking about this idea of he might be using other baddies or releasing other baddies? What if Mrs. Flood is
like a handler almost? I feel like she's a neighbour placed.
Yeah, I think it's very key
placement. Because do you remember in 73 Yards, she came out and was like talking to Ruby and Ruby's mum, and she goes, nothing. Yeah, and it's like, you know exactly what's going on here, ma'am. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's been waiting for this moment to look after Granny.
She was like, what she said to Ruby, I don't know if that was a key to something, because Ruby was stuck in a timeline of her own thing. So she was like, this has got nothing to do with me, love. Like, you do you. I'll deal with your grandma later. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if... Do you think grandma's...
Yeah, I don't wish it upon grandma, but...
No,
grandma's going to hold her own. Did you not hear? I said, what do you think that means? Like, I might be in this bed asking for a cup of tea, but I'll get up and I'll whoop your backside, Mrs. Flood.
There was a lot of things happening, like you said. There was a lot of left turns at one time. So between Mrs. Flood doing that, between the Doctor having to have a conversation with Susan and trying to get that information out of her as to what she was doing, and then we go back to unit, and then there's a harbinger. Poor Harriet. Like, it was just like, I just felt like I couldn't breathe a bit.
Can we also appreciate the acting when Ncuti kind of is standing there realizing what's going on. And just like how intense that was, and the facial expressions and everything, everyone kind of reacting to what was happening was just really incredible to watch, to be honest. And
because Sutekh was literally climbing the TARDIS. Actually, we should remind ourselves of that, because here we are, Sutekh, the god of death himself.
The god of all gods has returned, and his name is Amen. His name has been set, and Seth, and Sithafar. And his one true name forevermore is Sutekh.
It was the wrong anagram.
Cinematically, that reveal is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The panning of Shooty's face, the reveal of Sutekh and Triad.
Sutekh is not to be messed with at all. Like it's even then, even as an older episode, and as someone who's watched Doctor Who from like 2004 onwards, I still had to know what am I dealing with here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how the Doctor responds to Sutekh and what Sutekh wants.
I loved what you said about how the Doctor reacts to different, aliens and baddies. And that gives the audience, if they're not as familiar with different things, kind of a reason to be like, oh, okay, this means business type of thing. And I love how that happens throughout many, obviously, storylines. The Doctor reacts and you can tell he's petrified about, what's happening. I love that. And Shooty there was really like sold that. And I love that, yeah.
And I think what it does is it puts you on edge, because we watch Doctor Who for that comfort that the Doctor knows. So anytime somebody goes, I am this person, you're like, the Doctor's like, yeah, I know you are, so I've dealt with you before. But when the Doctor's like, oh my God, even the Doctor's scared.
Yeah.
I'm terrified. Like, I might not know Sutekh, but the Doctor's reaction was giving me like, this is something bigger than me.
All right, so let's focus on some lighter points, because it was getting very intense, wasn't it? It's really nice to see Rose come back, working with Unit, played by Yasmin Finney. As an actress, she's brilliant at what she's done.
What do you think, guys?
Yeah, it was amazing to see her back, and kind of in the realm of Unit, back from the 60th special. So yeah, it was fun to see her back, yeah.
And I just love the quality of actors that they get on Doctor Who. Like, I'm never disappointed. I'm just kind of like, yeah, you guys they get the creme de la creme, and she's fantastic, and I kind of want to see more of her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was very happy to see her face.
Did you guys pick up on the fact that they said that she'd been investigating shoplifting in Catford?
Did you so random?
But I think
Is Catford high in shoplifting?
I don't know.
Well, why was she there?
What's
Catford? Is it an anagram?
No, stop.
C-A-T-F. Wait a minute. Somebody get a pencil.
No.
Doctor.
No. Really? There is a
Okay.
doc there, though.
Oh, it could be Doctor. Exactly what you said. I love when we crash land into Unit and we get to see some new faces as well, and some old faces as well. I love that. I just love how it feels really familiar, but also the introductions are like, this is this person, that person, you know them. I think it's really nice.
I think amidst all the drama and the chaos, though, it was great to see Maurice Gibbons just giving us a little light load. You know what I mean? Brilliant character, played by Lenny Russ. Super, super funny.
So funny. And like the moments where it's like, threat at 96%.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
We kind of gathered love, but brilliant, He was just so funny as like the brainy brain box. Was it 13-year-old?
Yeah.
13-year-old brain box, yeah. She's one of the stars of Unit, and of course, one of the stars in Doctor Who. It's Mel, aka Bonnie Langford. Woo-hoo!
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, I'm really good. It's nice to see you all. It looks like you've got a great setup there. Slightly worried about the person over your shoulder there. Yeah, don't like her. She's a bit creepy. Not you, but it's creepy.
Oh, it's so good to have you. Thank you for joining us on the pod. There's so many questions we've got. I guess we're going to start with the fact that, your character, and we love having Mel back. Talk to us about how this has been for you.
But I'm just so glad to be back, and I'm glad that Mel is back, and I'm glad that she's the person that she is now. And so I do always want to go tell everybody what's going on. But I have to be very, very strict. And I'm excited about these episodes coming out for this season. I think they're going to be, going to be interesting.
They are indeed. I think also, like you said, you've come back, but you're now working with Nshuti. What's it like being alongside him in Doctor Who?
Oh, Shuti's great. He's so fantastic. We just have this great connection. Always hug, always laughing, always having a good time.
And what is it like being on a set for Doctor Who? Does it still, are you quite used to it, quite comfortable, or does it feel quite surreal?
Well, at first it was quite surreal because, you know, the whole setup is completely different to when I did it 37 years ago, way before you were all born. And, you know, it's obviously a lot bigger, a lot grander, a lot more substantial in a way. Being in unit in that set, it's actually quite a tricky set, but it does feel like home. And I did find myself the other day going, that's my desk. Which was a little bit bizarre. It's a lovely company. It's a really happy atmosphere. Everyone is very jolly. Everybody is very professional, obviously. There's a lot to get through. There's quite a lot of pressure, but it does feel like being home. It really does. It's very joyous.
So excited for this finale. And I know you can't give away a lot, sworn to secrecy, but can you describe the finale in 3 words for us?
Ooh. Epic. Heartbreaking. Exciting.
Heartbreaking?
Sorry, my poker face disappeared. Heartbreaking. Oh, Bonnie, am I going to cry?
I hope so. Because I don't think you're made of stone. Yeah, you're not made of stone, so I think you may well cry, yeah.
No, stop.
No one's breathing. Everyone stopped breathing.
Silence on set.
I mean, I've got one more question for you, but I don't care for it. I can't even speak. Okay, fine. Thank you. Those are the best 3 words ever.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're prepped now, at the very least. I will say, though, what is the future of Mel? Like, will she be back next year? We'd love to see her.
I hope so.
Well, you have to speak to Russell about that because he's the boss. He's the boss. You know what he's like. But I don't know. Mel likes working at unit. She definitely does. She's found her Earth family. And she's very happy to be there. So hopefully she's still got a job.
We want Mel back. It's so lovely having her back in unit. And guys, can you make some noise for the lovely Bonnie? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I do love an emotional Doctor Who episode. I think those ones are usually the best ones where it's real, raw emotion. And I want to see how Nshuti delivers that. Because we've seen so many doctors deliver some really gut-wrenching emotion. So... and already so far in Dot and Bubble, and so I think I really want to see him.
Yeah, but it depends on why he's emotional.
But those moments stick with you.
Yes.
So that's the power.
Until season 2? We're going to need a support group, guys. I'm not even joking. Yeah. We're going to have to open this WhatsApp group.
We stand up and we'll be like, I am Shabaz.
I am Shabaz. And I have an emotional wreck because of Doctor Who. So before we get into those Easter eggs with Dr. Dot, guys, I have to remind you we have an exclusive teaser from the final episode. It is called Empire of Death. Drastic March. I'm so looking forward to it. I actually cannot wait.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 for
what
real.
What a title.
I know, so intense.
Empire of Death.
Empire is grand. Death is grand.
Final.
And an Empire of Death is grand.
Yeah. Grand squared.
We've also got Russell T Davies coming back to give us those breadcrumbs. We've decided he's trolling us.
Absolute gaslighting me. I'm telling you, he's making me count fairies and count dust mites on the floor, and I'm trying to just focus on Susan Twist. No, not having it.
As it will be the final episode, guys, we want to know what your favourite parts are. We want to reminisce with you. So make sure you use the hashtag Doctor Who so we can see some of your suggestions and your comments. And hopefully we'll get them on the podcast because...
last one.
It's the penultimate. Dr. Dot, are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go. So for everyone watching and our guests, this is Dr. Dot, and this is where Shabaz, puts those Easter eggs together for us and makes our brains connect. I mean, we've been doing that the whole episode anyway, but all right, let's do it.
I love episodes like this where, because last week, and I think some episodes we've not had a lot of bits to connect together. This one was brilliant. So let's start with anagrams. Obviously, S, Triad, TARDIS. Anagrams are Doctor Who's favourite. So one of the things that I saw was when Doctor Who was coming back for the reboot, they actually used the anagram Torchwood on all the scripts. Yeah. So nobody would actually clock that Doctor Who was coming back. So a lot of the stuff was named Torchwood, which obviously we now know Torchwood was turned into its own series. It had its own spin-off series. So if you rearranged Torchwood, it's actually Doctor Who.
Stop it.
Yeah. Did you know this? Yeah,
Wait.
it's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, if you write it, it's... we also saw with the Khalid race mutating and becoming the Daleks, which Khalid anagram. I love a good anagram, don't we?
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm. This one is brilliant. So, the groan sort of sound we heard Sutekh make, the TARDIS make, which we know is Sutekh. We've actually heard that before. We heard that in Abbey Road. So when they first step on the zebra crossing, they turn and they're like, what's up with the TARDIS? It's making the similar sound.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So we've actually heard that before. So I genuinely believe that the TARDIS the TARDIS is being taken. Sutekh is using TARDIS to unlock time and cause some chaos. So the sound is obviously Sutekh. So Sutekh has been there.
Been in the TARDIS the whole time.
Or been around it, surrounding it, part of it. We don't know. Maybe even sending the Doctor on these trips.
Malfunctioning.
We actually heard it in Wild Blue Yonder as well. It made that noise. So Sutekh has been around since then. He's been around since 14th Doctor.
So what does that even mean? How long has he been unlocked?
Now, Sutekh is a siren. I love Doctor Who for this, right? This is the bit that gets me excited because the original Sutekh, along with Ra and along with the Egyptian gods, are in Doctor Who's universe known as Sirens. What they believe or what they do is this idea that these gods will only be told as gods because they were actually aliens. So humanity believed these aliens to be these gods, and that's how history was rewritten. And the pyramids on Earth, and there was a pyramid on Mars, were actually built by aliens. So I love when they'd rewrite history. Because there's people out there that believe that the pyramids were built by aliens. Well, Doctor Who's like, well, yeah, they were. And I believe that. Yes, they were. So, they're known as the Sirens. And the Sirens, Sutekh is one of the bad Sirens. Like, he's a big baddie. Oh, and the best bit, the original voice actor, Gabriel Wolfe, who voiced Sutekh in 1975, is back.
Oh.
Another thing was the Beast was voiced by this character as well. So there could be a connection between original Satan, Beast, Devil, whatever you want to call him, and Sutekh. It's the same man, isn't it? Doing the same voices.
Yeah. Because I'm still not convinced that Sutekh is it.
Well,
there might be more. Thank you, Shabaz, for that lovely Dr. Dots.
That's amazing.
Appreciate it.
You know so much.
No, I do. I love connecting. The best bit about Doctor Who is connecting all the stuff together.
All the bits.
Isn't he brilliant?
I just like to listen to you connect the bits.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We love bits and bobs here, don't we?
We love tidbits.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're super excited. Russell T Davies is back. He is about to give us some breadcrumbs. I'm going to, fingers crossed, hope and pray that it's going to make a whole loaf of bread this time instead of just crumbs. Are we ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Nadia, Shabaz, that's really the end. It's all over. Everyone's dead and the god of death wins. And there we are. Goodbye. Thank you. However, let's do another episode. Let's do an extra long 55-minute serious climax to wrap it all up, in which it is thrilling, in which the Doctor faces his oldest enemy and things are said that can never be repeated. Truths are revealed. The story of Ruby Sunday is coming to the most enormous climax that is genuinely exciting. And all I can tease is that all of these people are brilliant and Mel's still there. Everyone's fighting and winning and losing. But far away on a distant planet, a kind woman is waiting with something absolutely vital.
What the heck are you talking about? What are you talking about? What?
Tom, where's your brain gone?
I don't know. That's intriguing. Yeah.
Who's the kind woman?
Well, he just set my head on
another planet.
Bender, what he just said, another planet. There's full-on war.
Is it Monday? It's Monday, right?
Monday. A kind woman is waiting. What kind
With
of
something
woman?
vital. Well, she's about to be the next companion. So I assume it's Mundy.
Okay, the big thing is he's going to face off with his biggest enemy. Mm-hmm. His biggest enemy. Then on top of it, we're going to get a massive... I mean, he was very expressive with that showdown with Ruby Sunday. I'm thinking bigger. I don't know anymore.
Okay, well, that's what Russell had to say. But are we ready? It's an exclusive sneak peek.
It better be a good
of Empire of Death. This better shake my world.
Okay.
I don't want to see TARDIS flying.
I don't want to see no TARDIS. All right, let's go.
Right, go.
There's nothing we can do. Except fight.
Wow.
Sutekh's sand is released.
Also, how very Italian of them to be on a little Vespa. Vespa with helmets.
What do we make of that? Do you think they're going to escape, surely?
They have to.
Yeah. And
Do
then,
they?
They have to.
Sometimes they don't, though, do they? What if Mel died?
No, stop
don't.
it.
Oh,
Mel
stop.
said, oh my God, Bonnie said, heartbreaking.
Someone's not making it.
Bonnie said heartbreaking. It's her, she's gone.
No.
Someone's not making it.
that
Oh,
works.
heartbreaking, Mel...
Sandstorm of emotions.
That is destruction, because that sand is consuming everything. This isn't buildings, a few blocks are getting blown up. This is full scale gone.
The whole
I
thing.
don't know what to say. I just need to see the episode now. It's just got to the point where I'm just deflated. I'm just finish me off properly so that I can get the support I need. Because if I'm going to be heartbroken...
What answers, right? The last question for you guys. What answers are you looking for? What one answer do you want?
I would just like to know who is beneath the cloak.
Threll?
I think mine's the same. I'm as much as I was saying, we're spending all this technology on Ruby. Yeah, spend all the technology on Ruby because I do want to know.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Who's under the cloak?
What about yourself, Nadia?
Oh, I just want a nice bath and a hot drink and a... No, I really want to know what Sutekh wants because baddies don't just appear. What have you been doing? Why have you been waiting?
Full revenge, full-scale revenge.
Yeah,
isn't it?
but I need to hear that.
Oh, yeah,
I need to hear his story.
Why are you here, Sutekh? Give me an
What have you been waiting for?
Yeah. Oh, that's it. We're done.
Well, we haven't got too much. We haven't got too long to wait as well. All right, 1 week left.
Grand finale.
The
Can't
grand finale.
Yeah. But
yeah, we are done for this episode. Thank you so
so
much.
much.
All right, Who Crew, can we make some noise for our guests, Sarel and Tom? You guys were brilliant. And don't forget, you can catch all the gossip on the Doctor Who socials. Make sure you get involved over there.
And remember, join us as soon as you finish watching that series finale.
All right, we'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.